Alright guys, forgot about to do a video about basing. A long time ago someone asked me about basing after painting. I'm going to show you how to base these guys. These are the fantasy models, these are my vampire counts. So this is the empty base right here. This is a double stack base to give her the big base to fit the big unit. It's going to be kind of like a hill. It's going to look like a hill. First what you do is paint your base the color you want it. If it's green, then maybe green. If it's concrete, maybe gray color. This is going to be the ground color. This is fantasy. So I'm using scorched brown. Okay, this is going to be the start of the base. And then what you do is you take some of your glue. I recommend, like a clear or blue clear Elmer's glue, something thick. Go ahead and take your brush, or a crappy brush. I will say again, a crappy brush, not a nice brush. Put some of that glue, put it on your brush like if you're painting. Paint where you want the gravel to be. What I use is just the basic Citadel sand. Go ahead and just take the model like this. Once you have the glue where you want it, go ahead and start in some small areas. Like I say, do like a strip here. I left some gaps in some areas because that's where I'm going to put the grass. So you go ahead and take that glue, you just dunk it in there, let it settle a little bit, pour it out. Alright, I give it a little tap on the back so that all the loose ends fall. We're going to be painting over that so it'll stay even more. And then we'll be doing some highlights on the gravel. So that's step one. Alright, so go ahead and paint the scorched brown or whatever color you want. And then make some shapes with the glue where you want the gravel to be. The negative space right here where you see still the scorched brown color on the base is going to be where I'm going to have my static grass or my scorched grass placed when I'm done painting and highlighting the gravel. Alright, so this is step one. Alright, so once you have the sand laid down on your base, go ahead and paint. Once it's dried, go ahead and take a brush and paint over that sand color with scorched brown. This is what it's going to look like right here. So it'll just be the same color right here on the sand. Alright, here's some of the other models. Can base those right here, right there. Again, leaving some of the gaps where you want your static grass to be. So I have some going to be grass here, grass I'm going to have around the feet. I'm going to have some grass around her feet as well. See right here on the edges, right here in the corners. I'm going to have the grass. Alright, so once again, you can go ahead and paint your base scorched brown, then put the sand on top with your glue. Alright. Let that dry, then paint again on top of that scorched brown. What that does is, the first layer of scorched brown, that does is leaves some of the scorched brown underneath, so some of the sand that leaves holes, you'll be able to see the scorched brown underneath and not chaos black, so the colors will blend no matter what you do if you lay the scorched brown down first. Alright? After that is done, go ahead and take dark flesh. Go ahead and take dark flesh and dry brush on top of that sand. You'll get a lighter color. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be highlighting that sand. Alright, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to put them back to back. So you can see this is darker. This is the scorched brown. This is the dark flesh. Alright, so that's the next step. First is the scorched brown, the sand, let it dry, paint over that with scorched brown, then highlight it with dark flesh. Alright, next step coming up next. Alright, so the next step after the dark flesh comes the bestial brown highlight. Alright, so you go ahead and dry brush on top of that colors beforehand, the scorched brown, dark flesh, and then bestial brown on top of that, and that's what you get. Next step would be bubonic brown if you have it. I don't have it, so I'm going to skip a color step, but a bubonic brown highlight is what GW usually does. I just took a few layers of highlighting with the BCO brown to get a little bit brighter. So that's the next step. Alright, that's what it's looking like, and again, this is the yikes, back to back with just the regular scorched brown color. So you can see it's just scorched brown, scorched brown, scorched brown, dark flesh, BCO brown, and then the next highlight's coming up. Alright, so this is the final highlight. This is bleach bone, dry brushed on all of the previous layers. Again, scorched brown, use some glue to put down your sand. Alright, then let that dry, put some scorched brown on top of the sand once that's dried. Then go ahead and use dark flesh on top of that, dry brush dark flesh on top of that. Then we put the BCO brown on top of that dry brushed, and then you go ahead and take the bleach bone and dry brush that. Alright, and then the next step is filling in those gaps with some static grass, or, well, it used to be called static grass. They have different kinds of grass now, so this is scorched grass. They also have burnt grass and then regular green grass. Alright, coming up. Alright, so again, the finishing touches are the static grass. Again, back to back with where we started. Alright, and this is the finishing touches right here. Got an awesome base model. Alright. And it's a little quicker once you figure out how to do it. I'd start with just one model to begin with so you can kind of learn how to do it. And then what you want to do is just make steps to make it quicker and faster. So what you want to do is kind of paint everything the same, scorched brown on top of all that sand, right? And just kind of do it step by step on each model. And that way you can get a whole unit highlighted and grassed and static grassed quicker. So you kind of just put like all the scorched brown down on all your models first, then put all the sand on all your models, then scorched brown on all your models, and then highlight them step by step in ranks. The static grass, again, you just put the paint where you want the static grass, or excuse me, the glue where you want the static grass. Right, and then you just go ahead, see, some in the back right there for you too. Let me pick it up for you guys. There you go.
When business travel leaves you drained, recharge with Comfort Suite. Spacious rooms.
Alright, so it's a pretty cool model too, I think. One of my vampires. Alright, so the static grass is kind of not the same as the sand. The sand you can kind of glue and then dip into the sand and kind of move around and then tap the base so the loose sand gets, dumped back in your bucket there, or your, container. The sand is a little different. Again, it's called static grass because it's like static to like the 5th power. It'll stick all over your hands and all over the other sand. So what you want to do is when you're doing the static grass for your models, glue it and then pinch a little of the sand, a little bit of the static grass in your fingers, and then kind of let it fall on top of the glue, like pinch it and then put it on top. So kind of like if you're doing like one of these, like pinch it, alright, and then like, dust over your model where the sand is, because you can see it's just sticking all over my static grass. It's going to stick all over your fingers. So kind of tap it as well, and then do the rest. You just kind of blow away off the model, and you'll have your awesome grass and dirt sand based model. And this one I have a little bit more dirt because they're kind of undead, and I kind of want to have them kind of marching relentlessly, trotting upon the earth and kind of killing and destroying everything that comes in their way. Alright, so that's how you base.